Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Gray, and we are at the end of week 2, which means we are 1/4 of the way through this course. And we are going into week 3 this week. I have completed grading for week 1. And just a couple of words about that. Many of you did very, very well. What I saw the most that was counted off for the most in both the discussion and the pathways assignment was that your responses were not substantive enough. Okay, if I know on the discussions it tells you exactly how many paragraphs it wants, and a paragraph is this big, it's not this big. All right, if you don't have at least 5 good sentences in your paragraph, it's not a good enough paragraph. So be sure that as you go through your next pathways assignment, and this really doesn't count in week 3 because of the nature of what we're doing, but in your discussions especially, that you write substantively. More information is always better than less information, but a couple of sentences here and there at the college level just doesn't cut it. And this is true also when you're responding to your peers. You want substantive responses. You want 75 to 100 words minimum in those peer responses. Ask good questions, keep the conversation going, add to the conversation in your peer responses, but make sure what you are putting there is plenty of information to keep the conversation going. And with your week 1 pathways assignment, I was very specific in the week 1 video announcement about asking you to write 4 substantive paragraphs. So that is where that came from. And if you watched the video announcement, you knew that. Remember, you are responsible for knowing what is in each week's announcement and for acting on it, whether or not you choose to view it. And the only way really that you can know what's there and act on it is if you view it very carefully. And you might even have to take a couple of notes or view it again to get all of the information. So be sure that's the first thing you're doing either Sunday evening as you prepare for the week or on Monday as you start the week. That's why I put these things up on Sunday afternoons, is so people can do that and prepare. Also, on Mondays, our embedded tutor, Kyra, will include an announcement and a video as well, and you don't want to be missing those. She's going to be reaching out to some of you this week who I have identified as needing some help with things. If she reaches out to you, don't take it personally. It doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. It just means we need to know if you need help with things like understanding the instructions for assignments, where to access the announcement videos, and how to read these instructions so that you'll know exactly what's expected, and following due dates as well. So, all that being said, I hope you've had a nice, productive week 2 and a restful weekend. I'm sorry, my cat is sitting right by me and his fur is just going all over the place. So of course, I'm allergic. Going into week 3, there are 2 things that you need to do by Thursday at the latest. You've got quite a bit of reading this week. You have 5 chapters and then a quiz, and then you have 5 more chapters on AI and LLMs and another reading quiz. These need to be done by Thursday. Now, by Sunday, and this is not due Thursday this week, but by Sunday, you're going to do your first discussion, and it is on your career plan and your plan in school. It's kind of like a 5-year plan, and you're going to use AI. You're going to first do it without AI, and then you're going to do it with AI. This is a very involved assignment. Very involved. The discussions, the directions are very long, and it's important that you follow each part and each component and do exactly what it is asking of you, and then you will post the things it's telling you to post. Again, very involved assignment. You are not going to be able to sit down in 30 minutes and do this. All right. So find some time Friday or Saturday, early on Sunday. If you start on this 10 o'clock Sunday night, you're not going to be able to turn that on time. And sit down and follow those directions very carefully. Now, this is the one time that we will use artificial intelligence in this class. For normal things like class discussions and stuff like that, on normal weeks, where we're not having these pathways plans, can't do that. All right. You can't do that. You can't let AI write your assignments for you. But this week, things are a little bit different. So be sure you read those instructions carefully. You also have a pathways assignment, which is going to require you to create 3 different pathways plans. All right. And it says in the instructions that you only have to turn in your first one, but I would really like to see all 3 of them. I really would. This used to be a requirement. And, let me see what all 3 of those, even if they're AI generated, look like, and answer the reflection questions about them for your pathways assignment. Whatever kind of picture evidence you turn in, make sure it is a Word doc, a JPG, or a PDF file. All right. I can't look at things outside of that. Might be able to look at a ping, but I'm not sure. I guarantee you anything outside of that and anything done on an Apple computer, I can't open because I don't use Apple products. So be very careful about that. Make sure it's something that I will be able to see, because if I can't see it, I can't grade it. And if I can't grade it, it's going to get a 0. So pay close attention to that. JPGs are fine. Not sure about ping files, but other weird file names, I can't open. So be careful about that. That is also due Sunday, and you're going to respond to 2 of your peers in a discussion. In the discussion by Sunday, again, you want substantive responses, 75 to 100 word minimum. Ask good questions, keep the conversation going, advance the conversation. And just a final word, since this is a college course, I expect you to be writing at college level. All right. I'm seeing a couple of assignments without like the word I being capitalized and things like that, and some real profound sentence structure errors. And I am going to send you to the writing center if I see that. Now, again, that's not punishment. That's just to bring you up to where you need to be. All right. We have all of these people who are here to help you, and all of these resources, such as the Writing Center and our embedded tutor in this class. Take advantage of that. All right. Take advantage. If you have questions, make an appointment or drop in and see Kyra. If you have writing issues, contact the Writing Center online. You don't even have to go there. They can do appointments by video, and check over your work and stuff. So that's really important that you utilize the resources you have. All that being said, that about covers it for week 3. So let's have a great week and let's be very productive. I will see you soon.